Do not miss this. The feds are about to make crypto millionaires in 2024. If I haven't met you, my name is Coach JB. What I work to do is to make complex macro and microeconomic strategies very simple so the normal everyday person can implement them. And I'm very proud of the resources we have created and helped over 7,500 people since 2020. And our goal is to help over 1 million by 2025. I have three amazing resources for you. How these videos work is during the video, I'm going to give you my perspective, not financial advice. I'm going to share with you what I think is going to happen by studying the past, studying patterns to predict the future. And on the back end of every video, annoyingly repetitive, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing from my paradigm. I don't know if it'll work for you, but I'm sharing you exactly what I'm doing as I continue to grow in my education and my application. So the three resources I have for you guys, if you guys hear me talk about insuring my wealth, it's one of the biggest things that I do. It's tax code 7702. It's created in 1913, ironically, when the Federal Reserve was created. It's how you insure your wealth. They teach you how to insure your life. They teach you how to insure your car. They teach you how to insure your house. But nobody at the bank teaches you how to insure their wealth. Well, we do what the banks do. We actually put insurance on our wealth. So it's tax code 7702. In the description of this video or in my social media platform, you set up an absolutely free consultation. Do not respond to scammers. That's not me reaching out to you. We do not invest people's money. It's a free consultation. Number two, I have a 16-page book, absolutely free, on exactly how my system is set up. And number three, if you're ready to jump right in, we have a paid education academy, a community of like-minded individuals just like you. All right, so let's dive right into this video. As I said, I'm going to break down all my videos the same as we move forward. So number one, I'm going to provide with you my perspective, my prediction on what I think is happening based on the current economics. So the way that I do that is one of my biggest resources is Ray Dalio, the changing world order and the big debt crisis. I follow Ray Dalio, Kathy Woods, Robert Kiyosaki. He's getting kind of angry in his older years, but he's doing awesome. I follow a lot of his models, which is the cash flow quadrant. I take a lot of these different things and then I build my own system. My system is cryptocurrency is a very speculative asset, and I diversify across things that secure, compound, and grow my wealth. So my goal was to transform my family's life. I didn't grow up with wealth, so I had to reprogram my brain. So like I said, at the back end of every video, I'm going to share with you, based on the information I'm presenting to you, exactly what I am doing. Okay. So this is important to understand. So everybody's going to talk to you about how crazy crypto is going to go, how parabolic is going to go, but how do you know when it's going to go? How do you know when it's going to go up? And the key factor is you do not want to be. My friend in the sauna told me this and it stuck with me. You do not want to be the exit liquidity. Somebody has to be the exit liquidity. Write this down on your desk. Write this down on your mirror. If you are new to investing, if you have never had wealth in your family, if you've never been taught about wealth or the markets, excuse my language, don't give a shit about your emotions. They don't give a shit if you put your 401k in there. They don't give a shit if you took a home equity loan. They don't give a shit if you took your kid's college fund and put it into crypto. They will take all your money. Okay. So know that. So they are ruthless with the markets. So you need to be ruthlessly accountable and understand that you do not want to be exit liquidity. And on the back of this video, I will explain to you exactly what that means. Okay. So this shit is going to go parabolic next year. Here's why. Let me explain why. You won't need to understand why, because you'll see the triggers and the mechanisms so you can exit properly. Okay. Now I want to say something really quickly. So everybody's like, oh, will $1,000 in XRP or $10,000 in Bitcoin make me a millionaire? Guys, that should not be your thinking. If you were to put $1 into something and make 10, that is massive. Do you know how many people retire with $1 million in America? Very few. The average person in America retires with $294,000. That is disgusting. You cannot survive off that. So if you put in $1 and you make 10, you better pull profits, guys. At least pull your initial investment. You have to train your brain to get out of this get rich quick mentality. Once you learn how to turn $1 into 10, then you take the profit and you learn how to multiply and compound. That's what we do. That's what we teach. Okay. So Mike Novogratz, so you're going to see a lot of this now. Okay. As we go into 2024. So I want to train your brain on what you're going to see. And you got to take the emotion out of it. You're going to start to see all the predictions from every influencer out there. Bitcoin's going to 100,000. Well, I think Bitcoin's going to 600,000. And I think Bitcoin's going to 20,000. You're going to hear all this, okay? You have to ignore the hype. You have to pay attention to the macro and macro and microeconomic signals. Okay. So, what we're going to pay attention to as a family is interest rates, interest rates, interest rates. There's three big things going to happen. The Bitcoin ETF is going to get approved in first quarter. That's what I believe. Second, in April, you need to prepare for the Bitcoin halving. Those two things are going to bring number one Bitcoin ETF is going to bring in institutions. Okay, that's going to create a parabolic move. I believe that. Number two, the Bitcoin halving, what that is basically they reduce the supply of Bitcoin that can be mined. So that creates more scarcity for Bitcoin. So those two things alone are going to create a parabolic move. It's a 4-year cycle. Okay. And it's an exact cycle with cryptocurrency. So those things are to be expected. Then, family, this is where the rub is. This is what's different than any other crypto cycle is our economics, our macroeconomics happening right now. America is effed financially. Okay. So I'm going to signal and talk to you guys about interest rates over and over and over again. The economy is about to go into a recession. They're going to start laying people off. I'm going to break all these articles down, but I want to speak to you guys from my perspective. Okay. When they lower interest rates, that is going to flood people into your crypto assets, into your stocks, into your home. So if they lower interest rates, that is not good for the middle class. It does not understand investing. If you are looking to buy a home and you're looking at a $600,000 house, an $800,000 house, and they lower interest rates, it is going to be so unaffordable within minutes. If it shoots down a basis points, 2 basis points, your $800,000 house you're looking at is going to be over $1 million. The normal everyday American is not going to be able to afford to live. They're going to be condensing, moving into apartment complexes. Families are going to be moving in together. And what's going to happen is the economy is going to get so destroyed that you're going to need a stimulus check. Remember, don't forget, FedNow Services launched, I think it was March or April this year, right? You can easily set up to get your stimulus check very quick, guys. Pay attention. Problem, reaction, solution. You guys already forgot about FedNow Services, didn't you? Okay. So pay attention. So Bitcoin will reach its old highs with the ETF approval, Galaxy Novogratz predicts. But I'm going to scroll down here and go into this part, which is the narrative that I'm focused on. Okay. Novogratz has long touted anticipation over institutional adoption of cryptocurrencies through the SEC approval of Bitcoin ETF. During Galaxy's third quarter earnings conference call in November, Novogratz predicted that the Federal Reserve would opt, what I've been saying, to cut interest rates in first quarter of next year, further supporting the industry's growth in the next 18 months. We need to start thinking like these billionaires and multimillionaires. Guys, interest rates, interest rates, interest rates. So Bitcoin ETF, write this down, Bitcoin halving and lowered interest rates. I don't care if you don't really understand the mechanisms. I just want you to write those three down. Bitcoin ETF, Bitcoin halving, and lowered interest rates. That is a signal that your crypto is going to go up. Okay. Now I'm going to explain to you at the end what I will be doing. Now we go into here. It's all over the news now. Here's what it would take for the feds to start slashing interest rates in 2024. Interest rate cuts Interest rate cuts don't happen during good times. Something important for markets to remember amid hotly anticipated easing for next year's from the Federal Reserve. If the Fed meets market expectations and starts cutting aggressively in 2024, it will likely be against the backdrop of a sharply slowing economy and rising unemployment, which in turn would bring lower inflation. Okay. So they're bringing inflation down to 2%, which is going to create a bad employment market, which will create a catastrophic system for the middle class, which they'll have to lower interest rates, which makes the investors very, very, very wealthy. That's our game now. We know their game. We're not getting played anymore, guys. We're rewiring the foundation. Get ready. This is like the Super Bowl, guys. This is like our practice. That's why I'm sharing this boring stuff. My videos aren't going to go to 100, 200,000 because I'm not telling you that XRP is going to 589, Bitcoin's going to 200. I'm giving you the facts, figures, numbers, logic so you don't get wrecked. I'm teaching you the boring shit. I'm teaching you the practice before the Super Bowl. I'm teaching you the gym before you get on stage, right? For as a bodybuilder, I'm teaching you the days and days of training as a triathlete, right? I'm teaching you all the practice stuff, the discipline, the consistency, the boring shit. To become wealthy, it's extremely boring. It's not sexy, but I'll tell you what, once you build financial freedom, man, it is the best feeling in the world when you no longer have to wait for Friday. When you sit there and you're like, oh man, did we get paid today? Oh, how much do we get? And then you're making decisions like, where do we allocate this money? Opportunity cost of money. Every time money hits the bank accounts, opportunity cost. Where do we move this to? It's burning a hole in my pocket. I want to get as many of you there as possible. That's my goal. I can lead you to water, guys, but you got to stop drinking the get rich quick water. You got to stop drinking the hype train and all these influencers pumping you up. I'm going to be real with you guys right now. I know this may piss a lot of the influencers off, but guys, they're all about it. And when crypto's booming, they're making money. But most of these crypto influencers, when the market's in a bear market, they're all broke. They're all broke. They all start doing ads and they start doing all these things and, paid sponsorships and all this stuff, guys. We do zero paid sponsorships. We have real businesses, real companies, real ecosystems outside of crypto. Crypto is something we're very passionate about, something we want to help people understand so they don't get wrecked. So we build products and services that help people understand how to really make money and build wealth. And I'm going to pat myself on the back for that because we've never taken any money from a crypto company. Ever. We got offered hundreds of thousands of dollars during the bull market, guys. I could have been a millionaire just off of sponsored posts. Guys, our TikToks in that during that time were hitting 300,000, a million views. We get an average of 500 views across all our social media platforms a day. Can you imagine how much these crypto companies were offering me, guys? I said, hell no, because peace, freedom, and family structure is important to me. When I lay my head on the pillow every night, I know that everything that I've talked about is something that I have my hand in. And if it goes awry, I was part of it. And I have to own that shit. So I know I'm going off the subject here, but that's really important because I got you guys want to understand intentions are extremely important. We are going to win, family. We are going to win in 2024. But if you don't practice now, if you don't practice the mindset, if you don't practice the emotions, you will get wrecked. I'm telling you. And I know people comment, oh, don't be I'm not being negative. I'm training you to understand the game so we no longer get played. I'm extremely passionate about it. We've helped thousands of people since 2020 train their brain. But out of the 7,500 people, there's still a lot of people that still didn't listen, guys. This is it. This is your Super Bowl. We're never going to have a parabolic move like this again, ever in our living history. Imagine, what is it? Eminem, one shot, one opportunity. This is it, family. This is all the things I wanted to show you guys just really quickly. Fed's likely to be the most dovish central bank in 2024. What they mean by that is the Feds might cut rate by 100 basis points next year, it's going to cause a parabolic move in crypto, man, in assets in general. So, as I said, every single video. So if you've been watching these guys, every video, boringly consistently, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing. Not financial advice. I'm speaking from my current paradigm of how I'm set up. I don't know if it'll work for you, but it's radically worked for me and thousands of people. Okay. So number one, crypto is an extremely speculative asset. Every bit of crypto I have in there, and I have a pretty decent portfolio. I don't know what people consider decent. I'm not going to share my bank account, but I've been accumulating since early 2020, and I've been accumulating every single Friday. So you can imagine I have a pretty nice portfolio, I think. But crypto, every dime I have in crypto from the beginning, I pretended that I was going to lose every single dime. What that did was it made me non-emotional, and it also made me have the ability to exit when everybody else was getting excited. So I removed the emotion from crypto. Okay. I have a strict exit plan. I'm holding 50% of my portfolio long term. So let me explain. So out of 100%, 50 is being held long term. Okay. 50% will be exited from 2024 to 2025 as things go up to my exit targets. Okay. So let me explain. So I'll use XRP, for example, a lot of XRP holders here. Okay. So if it reaches $3.70, okay. Not if, I'm not listening. If it does, that's all it is a trigger. It's not emotional. If it reaches $3.70, then I will exit 10% of my 50%. If it reaches $5 to $7, I'll exit about 15% of my 50%. That's now 25% of my 50%. Does that make sense? So now we still have 75% left of the 50%. So why do I ladder on the way up? Here's why. Because you're the exit liquidity, guys. When these institutions come in and they make 10 times on their money, 30 times on their money, when they're used to making 8%, 3%, 2%, maybe 12%, and they make 10 times on their money, 100 times on their money, they are going to pull and pull fucking hard. And guess what? When it peaks, you don't have the same access they do. The exchanges shut down because you're liquidating the exchanges. So as you are trying to pull and you're freaking out and everything shuts down, it comes back up. You're sliding down the back. And I've already pulled maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars in profits, depending on where this goes, right? So now I have money in the bank and you're panicking as you're collapsing down and you're there exit liquidity. You're trying to panic sell. Okay. So now I have money sitting here. Now I have what's called opportunity cost of money. So this is what changed our lives. We didn't just sit there and buy back in. We use Index Universal Life. We max funded. We are going to continue to max fund policies. Okay. And so what, and it's very important if you're sitting with somebody around insurance that they're not maximizing their commission. That's why we got licensed. After 3 years of using it, I was like, F this, we're getting licensed and we are making sure our clients, we do not maximize our commission. We maximize the living benefits for our clients. Very important. Because if they're maximizing the death benefit in IUL, they're maximizing their commission. Remember that. We set it up properly so the client can properly fund the IUL policies. So number one, they can compound, grow, and if they choose to, they can borrow again. There's many factors to it. It's really important how you set it up. So we use insurance and we insure our wealth. So now I'm sitting on insured wealth. And if markets pull back, I can borrow from my own cash value and multiply my money now and buy back in. When you're buying back in with one thing, I'm buying back in and doubling my money. I'm also into precious metals. I have silver. Next year, I'm going into gold. Okay, I'm going to get more gold. And I'm going to start stacking gold for the rest of my life. I'd never store your gold where you live. I used ITM. Okay, so ITM is really, really important. And there's places where you can store your gold, which is really important. Real estate. So I'm not a real estate expert. I'm getting into real estate because I realized my earned income, I've been honest with you guys, went from getting the shit kicked out of me in 2019, being indoctrinated, 2020 to, a much different paradigm now, financially free. So now I have to learn the tax game, right? So a couple things that I'm doing for that is I'm going to get access to more real estate for depreciation and writing off interest income or interest expenses. So that's been amazing for me this year. And my next phase is and again, people are reaching out saying, hey, how's JB set up? I'm in the process of getting set up with my trust. I don't know how that works yet, but we have trust experts because we're licensed insurance agents and we're working with trust experts. So my trust will be set up and everything will be under my trust within the next 6 months. So all my insurance policies will be under the trust. Now I'm setting my kids up. My kids are set up now for retirement already. One's 8, one's 19. Now it's legacy, right? And then we will set up a family office, and that's the next phase. And I will speak to you what I'm doing and how it's set up when I get to that level. So I will only speak from my current paradigm of practical application. I'm very proud of that. And I think that's what separates me. I speak from my current paradigm spiritually, what I'm practicing, what I'm actually doing, not what I'm reading out of a Bible, not what I'm going to a church on Sunday. I'm actually speaking what I'm living. I'm speaking to you financially what I'm living. I'm speaking to you health-wise what I'm living. And when I'm not living it, I call myself out. I think it's really important. I feel like authenticity is one of the biggest things. Okay. So how do I do this, right? So I'm the co-founder of Merlin. This is our own company. Okay. It's the smartest way to track your crypto. We don't hold your keys. We don't hold your combos. It's just an interface. So you can see all your crypto in one spot. And this is my favorite part, the exit strategy. Okay. So you can put your own exit strategy in here. So what does that mean? So when I explained to you, when mine goes to $3.78, Merlin will send me a text when I'm getting close to that. So as I'm busy in a meeting, oh, shoot, it's getting close. So I go and exercise that. I hit the sell button. I go to my exchange, I sell, and it alerts me as I get to my targets. So as you're scrambling, I've already pulled profits. So the exit target is really, really important. Now, it's very important to understand an exit plan is different. My average buy-in for XRP is about 17 cents. I bought at 13. I got in kind of early, and then 17 cents. And then my average is 17 cents across the board, right? So exit strategies can be very different across the board. But the key is it's like having a shitty plan is better than no plan. The whole key to this is discipline, financial discipline, because you're going to be sitting in the barber shop, you're going to be at the grocery store, at the gym, and your gym bros are going to say, oh, dude, hold on, man. It's going to go to 120,000. Okay, say it does. Say it does. But they get smashed because they're stuck because the exchange is shut down and they come collapsing down. And you've already pulled 30,000 in profit and they get zero. So it's all about discipline. We've been teaching this over 4 years now, guys, and we practice what we preach. That's the biggest thing. So we used to use spreadsheets. So we did 36,000 lines of code to build this. This is built from the ground up. That we have our own programmers, everything. It's called Blockheads, our company, which we created Merlin, smartest way to track your crypto. It's very important to understand that everything we provide, we start out for free. So we are big on customer service. My Warrior Academy, 7 days for free to try it before you buy it. We have the free guide. We have a free consultation for insurance. And then we have 30 days for free for Merlin. We believe in relationships. It puts the pressure on us to be better in business. So in Merlin, in the description of this video or my social media platform, when you download it, 30 days for free. And if you don't like it and there's not a mutual value exchange, you don't have to jump through hoops. You go on to Merlin and hit cancel. Boom, our relationship is over. We're not playing games with your money. Number one, we're not playing games. We want with your relationship. We want to build a relationship with you guys. We believe in taking the hard road in everything we do. We believe in providing value. So I'm very proud of these ecosystems that we build. I'm very proud to say that we've never accepted money from a crypto company. And I stand on that, guys, because integrity, honesty, and uncompromising belief in God is very important. And I'll leave you with this. What makes me the richest man in the world is my relationship with God. Truly. And that's why I created my own ecosystems, because when I was in corporate America, I got written up and talked to by HR for talking about the pineal gland. I mean, come on, guys. I'll never forget that moment. I talk about this all the time. I was in corporate America. I was running some banks, and I get a call from my boss, and you could tell there's someone else on the line. I'll never forget this. And it's HR on the line. And they said, "Hey, on your conference calls, do you talk about the pineal gland?" I said, "Yeah." I was straight up. I didn't lie to them. Yeah, absolutely. And they're like, "Are you a doctor?" I'm like, "You're," I was like, conceptually, like, think about what they said. "Are you a doctor?" And I was like, I've never heard one of my doctors talk about the pineal gland. Well, they're like, "Well, do you," and I'm like, and it didn't go that deep, but I was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" They're like, "Well, that's not your wheelhouse." I'm like, "Whose wheelhouse is it? Your body? It's not." I was teaching them how the pineal gland works, and consciousness and the RAS and all that stuff, and goal setting and all this stuff. I'm attaching goal setting and consciousness, trying to make them more successful, in the right way. And I was like, "Man, are you serious?" And I knew right then that was one of the first triggers for me. One of the first triggers for me that I was in the wrong spot. If I can't talk about God, if I can't talk about my body or how consciousness is going or my belief systems, I want nothing to do with it. I want nothing to do with it, guys. And another moment I had while I was in corporate America is I wasn't told I couldn't have a second business, but it was frowned upon for me to have a second business. So you know what? With my team members and my executives, I encourage them all to have side hustles, and they're all thriving, thriving. They're not only doing well for our business, but they're expanding their consciousness and they're building legacy for their family. So I did the opposite of everything in corporate America. They want to control your life. I want to expand your life. So we built products and services that help expand consciousness, not pull away from consciousness. So I just wanted to share that story. I continue to parrot that story because it's really important. It was like these were moments where I stood up for myself, not against anybody, not against the system. And my boss is doing the best he can with the resource he had. He wasn't the one speaking that truth. He wasn't. That's HR, human resources, bullshit fucking structure we've created. And they say you can't talk about politics or your religion. You can't have a side hustle. You can't do all what. You're not my fucking you're not my boss of my life. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. So instead of arguing against invisible enemy, I created my own system. All these influencers are telling you to escape the matrix. I created my own. Pretty simple. I'm not against anybody. I'm not mad at my boss for saying that because he was doing the best he can. He didn't create that company. It wasn't the rules that he created, but he decided to follow them, right? I just decided, no, I'm going to create my own rules and I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to let my people have their belief system. Let people Buddhist, Church of Latter-day Saints, Catholic, just be a good fucking human being. Treat people with kindness. You know what's interesting? We don't have any negativity in our community. Zero. We don't have shit talking. We have a rule within our ecosystem and our leadership team within our company. So we have the Warrior Academy. We have 27 team members. We have a leadership team. We have an executive board and all that, or executive team, CEO, CFO, and all that stuff. We have a rule. If you talk about somebody twice, we talk to the person. Because if you're talking behind someone's back, you want attention. You don't want a solution. So if we find somebody talking behind someone's back more than twice, they just want attention. And we're not looking for people who are victims and looking for attention. We're looking for people who want to expand consciousness and create solutions and who are going to be honest and organic. Is that right? Honest, yeah, and organic with their own belief system. So anyways, that was probably too much information. Doesn't really matter. So just kind of giving you a little bit more aspect of who I am. Also too, if you want to follow me on Refined Integrity, if you want to check that out, I'm going to be really going deep on my spirituality and talking more about my walk with God and my faith. And I know it's going to shake some people up because I think they inverted all of Jesus's teachings. And I know that by applying it, not by going to reading doctrine, not by reading doctrine and applying it to my life and actually changing my life through Christ. Jesus Christ is real to me. God is real to me, but I think they inverted his teaching. So Refined Integrity, if you check it out, it's my beard company, but I'm really expressing my spiritual side to it because I know you guys don't want to hear all that stuff on here. But I love you guys. I appreciate you. As we always say, warriors, rise, get your shit together. Love you guys.